Today I'm going to be ranking all 32 of the 2022 Qatar World Cup kits from worst to best. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you guys do enjoy the video, and with that being said, let's jump into it. So starting off with the worst kit in my opinion in the Qatar 2022 World Cup, it is actually the host nation. Qatar's kit for me is just a bit too plain. It's very simple. They've got the logo, the Nike stripe and the number all down the middle. There's not too much going on with the rest of the shirt. Yes, the sleeves have a slight pattern on it, but it's really not doing enough for me, and personally it is the worst kit in the World Cup. The next one, it's a similar concept in Costa Rica, a very plain shirt, pretty much just all red. It's got a blue sleeve on it, but I just don't think it works very well. The New Balance sponsor doesn't look that clean either. It's just too plain. It's not a great kit. Number 31. Serbia are also a very similar kit design to what Costa Rica's was, pretty much just something on the sleeves, and I don't really like that gold color. I don't think it pairs up very well with the red shirt. And the Puma logo, once again, it doesn't look very clean. Not the best shirt. The fourth worst kit, or the kit coming in at the 29th spot, is Switzerland. This is another red kit. I really don't like what Switzerland have done with these white lines up the top, sort of on the shoulders to the chest pattern on their kit. I just don't think it goes very well. Also, the logo in a square box, the Switzerland logo in a square box, I'm not a massive fan of it, and I'm not really too keen on the Puma sponsoring either, as we touched on with that last kit. So personally, not a fan of this Switzerland kit either. Let's move on to 28. In 28, it is Iran. I really dislike this kit as well. I'm not a massive fan of the color scheme, and I don't really like that green stripe kind of going across the shirt. Just not a massive fan of the green, white and yellow, and I don't really like the shades of green as well on that stripe across. I think it's a bit of a nothing kit. It is definitely a bit plain, so not a fan of it. Moving on to kit number 27, Denmark's coming in here. It is a fairly faded out kit, so once you have a closer look at it, it's pretty much just all red. You can't really see too many details of it, especially if you're going to be watching the World Cup on TV. You're not going to see too many key details of the Denmark kit. It's not as offensive as some of the lower kits, but there's just not enough going on here. Morocco, another one that I'm not a massive fan of. It sort of looks like a Christmas tree kit. I don't really like the color scheme of the red and green, and I'm not a massive fan of that sort of stripe across the chest there. It's kind of cut off halfway to give the Puma logo once more, which, as I've touched on, is not one of my favorite logos. Overall, not the best design of kit, and I don't really like those white stripes as well around that green sort of stripe in the middle of the shirt. Next up is Tunisia in spot number 25, another red kit, as there are a lot of red kits this World Cup. I can see a lot of teams having to use their away kits because of clashes. The Kappa kit, normally they do make pretty good kits. They've made good kits for various clubs as well. But this World Cup kit, it's a little bit plain. It's still got a nicer pattern than some of the kits that were on a lower spot than this one, but I'm not a massive fan of it. It's still a bit plain, not overly offensive though. Moving on, it's Canada's kit in number 24. It sort of looks like a training kit, this one. Another red kit as well, pretty plain, pretty standard. It's pretty clean, to be fair, nothing too much wrong with it. It's just a bit basic. It kind of looks like a training kit, so that's why it does sit a bit lower. Up next, it's Ghana as well in 23. I'm not a huge fan of this star in the middle, and that is why it's sitting slightly below the halfway mark of all this team's kits. Also, it is a fairly plain kit, pretty standard with the white coloring. The Puma sponsoring once more, and don't like that. And the sleeves, I don't really think it goes. A bunch of colors on the sleeves. Not a massive fan of that kit, and that's why it sits in 23rd. Moving on, it's the USA kit, another pretty plain kit. I have seen this kit been liked by a few other people, but personally I'm not a big fan of the kit. It just kind of looks like a training kit. There's really not much going on here at all, apart from that little blue coloring across the collar and a slight blue and red coloring on the sleeves. Otherwise, it's pretty much just a plain white shirt with a USA logo slapped in the middle of it. Next up is this Spain kit. I'm not a massive fan of the blue going with the Spain kits. I really like their old kits where it was just the red and the gold. Introducing this blue, personally it doesn't quite work for me as well as some of the older kits, such as that 2014 World Cup kit even. So that's why it does sit a little bit below halfway in 21. Uruguay, this is actually not too much of a bad kit. I can't really say anything bad about this kit. It's pretty plain, pretty standard. I also like the color of the Uruguay kit in general, so that kind of helps it out, as despite not too much happening with this kit, it definitely isn't as bad as some of the kits on this list, but I just don't think it has any defining features for it to be pushed up into one of the higher kits this World Cup. Moving on, in 19th spot we've got the Ecuador kit. I do like the yellow coloring of kits, and I guess it kind of helps out that we're a Wolves fan, so we kind of favor that yellow style of kits. I also like what's going on underneath the sleeves there on the side with the blue and red. I think it's not a kit that massively pops out as one of the best kits, but definitely not an offensive kit either, and that is why it sits roughly halfway at the 19th spot. Moving on to spot 18 now, it is France. A pretty standard kit from France, not too much going on here with the gold Nike sponsoring and France logo. I'm assuming the numbers are also going to be gold as well, so can't really go too wrong with the traditional France kit. Once again, it doesn't pop out as one of the best kits in the World Cup, but it's definitely not a bad kit either. This one sits around halfway. The Belgium kit though, I do think it offers a little bit more flair than the France kit with the sleeves. I like what they've done there, tries to add something a bit different. It sort of looks like a fire pattern on the sleeves. It definitely adds a bit more decoration, as otherwise on the front it's just a plain red. You've got the black on the sleeves as well with the red added as stripes on the shoulders. Overall, not such a bad kit, and it does sneak in around halfway, or the halfway spot amongst all kits in the World Cup. Moving on into this Wales kit, I quite like the pattern that they've got going on here at the front of the kit. I think it's a fairly decent Wales kit compared to some of the ones in the past. It is sitting around the halfway point, I believe the exact halfway point out of any of the kits in the World Cup. Pretty much what you'd expect from Wales, but I do like the pattern on the front of the kit, and that is why it is sneaking up there as one of the high kits on the list. Moving on to number 15, it is a very controversial kit. I have seen a lot of people hate on this kit. It's this Portugal kit, which has kind of been cut in half diagonally. It's very weird. It's kind of got two sort of triangular shapes on the bottom and the top of the green and red. I can see this kit looking a lot nicer in game than on a photo shoot. Chuck a number in the middle, I don't think it'll look too bad. Also, Portugal are kind of fortunate in the fact that I think their shades of red and green do work a bit better than the kits such as the Morocco one, for example. And I do think, since of course Cristiano Ronaldo and a couple of other top players play for Portugal, I think they can carry this kit to the number 15 spot. Moving on, just beating Portugal is Argentina, and this one is a pretty standard Argentina shirt, but I am a fan of that Argentina coloring with the blue and white stripes. Can't really go too wrong here. It's nothing out of the ordinary massively, but it is just a fairly clean kit all round. I like the Adidas stripes on the sleeves and the black sort of rim around the bottom of the shoulders there, so not a bad kit. Moving on to 13, I do like this Croatia kit design. They've sort of got the zigzag in the middle. It's a little bit different, and Croatia do generally have pretty cool kit designs with the red and white squares on their kit. It does complement the national team flag very, very well, and it genuinely looks pretty good in game when you are watching the World Cup or any Croatia national team match in general. I do enjoy watching this kit when it plays. Moving on is this Cameroon kit. I really like this kit in number 12. The sleeve design is absolutely awesome. I think it's a lot more different than some of the other kits. It's definitely standing out as one of the more intriguing kits to look at, and I think it could be very nice when we see it on the pitch as well. A very cool color scheme with the green and white, and as you'll see, there is another very nice green kit coming up as well, as I do fancy this color of kit. Number 11 spot is the Netherlands kit, a very nice kit from them. I really like the orange color. It does pop out quite nicely, and they've got an interesting pattern on the front. Looks very shiny as well from the photos that have been taken in the photo shoots. It does just miss out on the top 10 though, as it could have potentially had a more interesting pattern on the front of the shirt, but overall a fairly decent color scheme, and I do like this Netherlands kit. Coming in at number 10 is our home country, Australia. I really like this kit. The gold and green color scheme does pop out a lot more than a couple of the other World Cup kits, and paired with the shorts as well, I do think it's a very nice combination. The yellow as well does have a decent sort of pattern on the front of it, and I think this is one of the better World Cup kits. Looking further into the top 10, Japan takes the number 9 spot. I really like this Japan kit. They've got this really cool triangular pattern on the front of the kit, and I really like the sort of white shade as well that they've got going on there. A very cool blue color as well across the shirt. So overall, very happy with the work that Adidas have done in this Japan shirt. Looking at the number 8 spot now, it is one of my personal favorite kits. It is this Saudi Arabia kit. It is very out there. Is their green shirt. It's sort of like a jungle pattern on it. I really like this kit. I think it is one that's probably going to pop out the most out of any kit throughout the World Cup when they wear it. I think Nike have done a very good job with this one. I think the collar's pretty clean, and it's just one that stands out. It's a bit different. They've taken a risk, and I think it has definitely paid off. It does work pretty well with the crest for Saudi Arabia as well there. Moving on to number 7, this is probably one of the cleanest kits in the World Cup in South Korea. I really like what Nike have done with this kit as well. They've got the black collar, black Nike symbol, and they've gone the full black outline for the South Korea logo. They've stuck to a theme, and I think it's really worked well. The red color as well looks very nice. I like what they've done with the sleeves with that slight pattern there. I think overall this kit works extremely well together, and I can't wait to watch it in the World Cup. Number 6 is this Senegal kit. I think this is one of the best kits in the World Cup. Let me know what you guys think of this kit down below, as I feel like this could create some controversial opinions, but I really like this V stripe across the chest. It's got the green on the top, the yellow throughout the middle, and then of course the red on the bottom. I think this is a very cool combination of colors. I like what they've done with the sleeves and with the neck as well. I think overall it does stick with their sort of national team colors, and I think it's worked very well together in that V sort of symbol on the chest and then around the collars and the shoulder. Moving on to number 5, another nice green kit. I've really liked the green kits that have been produced so far this World Cup. This Mexico kit is very nice. I really like the pattern as well on the top of the shirt. I think it works very well, and I like the red Adidas stripes across the shoulders. Definitely suits, especially with that Mexico sort of national flag sticking to those themes. I think Adidas have absolutely smashed it with this kit. Mexico in general do produce pretty nice national team kits, and this one is no exception. Taking the number 4 spot is this Poland kit. I want to hear your guys' comments as well about this kit. It's a very simple kit, but I think it's probably the cleanest kit in the World Cup in terms of there's not much going on with this kit, but it works extremely well together. I really like the shoulders and the sleeves with that grey kind of jaguar pattern, that stripe pattern. I think that works extremely well. The red Nike logo with the red Poland logo complements each other very well. There's not much going on with the kit, but I think it's extremely well put together, an extremely clean kit, and it doesn't need much going on to be effective. I'm a massive fan of this kit. Number 3, it's this Germany kit. Germany have been able to produce lots of great national team kits. The 2018 Euros one was very nice. Also, the 2020 Euros one was very nice. I like the 2014 World Cup kit as well. That was quite an iconic one. They keep switching up the national team kits, and I think this one hasn't missed either. I really like how they got the logo, the sponsoring, and the number all sorted down that black strip in the middle. I think it works extremely well. Very clean and a great kit. This number 2 kit is the England kit. I really like the collars on this one with the sort of alternating tone or brightness of the shade of blue across the neck and the shoulders. I think it looks very nice. It works very well together. They've kept it on trend with the Nike logo. It's a similar color to that blue, and the England logo as well being blue does seem to work very well together. Another pretty simple kit, but I think it's worked, and I think they've absolutely smashed it, Nike, with making this kit, which means the number 1 kit for the Qatar 2022 World Cup is this Brazil kit. Another kit that has an excellent color scheme. It doesn't have to do a massive amount to be effective. Brazil have a great color scheme with the gold. They've got the slight tinge of blue and green on the sleeves there, and of course on the logo as well. Nike have been bang on with this kit once more. I really like these yellow kits. I think this Brazil kit and this Australia kit with the gold and green have worked extremely well together. I'm a massive fan of this Brazil kit. It's going to be great looking at this kit once more, and most Brazil kits at the national team stage are very good to look at when you're watching them play. Thanks for watching today's Qatar 2022 World Cup kit ranking video. If you guys enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel as it really helps out, and let us know your kit rankings down below. Were there any kits that we put up really high that you guys absolutely hated, or did we sleep on some kits that you guys really liked? And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.